Good evening, friends. This evening, we are trying to discuss the stressful situations in life, the stress of residency, the stress of exam, the tensions of matrimony, practice, and health, and several issues. Remember, life is never a cakewalk. I would like to share some of my failures, my problems of life through which I have traveled this journey right from my residency system till to date. The situations, the problem is a situation, and any situation in life can be converted if you are fit to fight with it as an opportunity and is a problem. Problems, stress in life is a disparity between what you thought and what actually happened. When I was undergrad in Ludhiana in a college called DMC, Dayanand Medical College, and across the town was CMC. The two places, their faculty, facilities, equipment, reputation was miles apart. So as a very aspirant candidate, I was first one ever to cross the line. The first introduction with boss and the welcome address by Dr. Eggleston was, your contract will last maximum 6 months, and it can terminate any 6 hours if there is lapse on duty, on patient care, and on discipline. He also used to say, out of 12 people who are sitting here 6 months from give me a minute. So he used to say, 6 months from now, 6 will not be there, and another 6 months, maybe 3 to 4 people will be dropped out. Such a stressful environment to fight with, day in and day out. Being an outsider, the average CMC grad and a surgeon at that particular time did not consider somebody from outside even as a doctor. The day one in OR, when I was changing over, is very interesting. And I had reached the entry to put a cap on my head. Somebody yelled at me, "How dare you enter without wishing me?" This was the theatre master Fateh Masih. Now, the peculiarity was the dress code was the same. The director and the sweeper, everybody wore the same dress. So how, as a beginner, there was no system to introduce people that this is the newcomer with us. And he looked at me and said, "I will talk to boss. What kind of jokers are you recruiting?" The insulting comments. During lunch, when I went to the mess, I respectfully introduced myself to the other people on the dining table, and one of them sarcastically said, "We don't know what has happened to boss. He has started taking all the shit from everywhere." I just poured my rice and curry and sat down very silently, finishing my lunch at a galloping speed. There was disrespect, humiliation as a beginner at every level. But then when you are at a new place, you are under stress. The stress should not affect your performance in the beginning of residency. This is my advice to all beginners, because you may have a language problem. Most DNB programs do not have an accommodation. You may have problem with your food, with your landlord. But as I said in my last lecture, be thick-skinned. Tolerate the nonsense with a smile. Apna time aayega. Your day will come. Continue your hard work. Smile. And the guy who was most sarcastic to me was also the most influential resident in the department. So I found a very easy way to be close to him. He was supposed to write a detailed operative note after every surgery he did. So I went a mile extra and I told him, "Sir, do you mind if I write your operation note?" What more he wanted? There were 5 operation notes to be written every day, an extra 1 hour. So he became pally, and believe me, he is the thickest friend today. So take adversity into opportunity. And my days came. When the time passed, the skill, hard work brought in popularity, and everybody was a friend. As the time passed, I was able to answer some of the difficult questions on rounds which my seniors could not. As the 3 years passed, I'm sharing a very important episode of my life, the tough 1 year. When we used to appear for the exam, we used to take our paper to the boss and we were normally allowed to appear after 3.5 to 4 years. So I thought I am well trained. We should try. We approached him that you let us appear after 3 years. He said, "Do you think you're ready?" I said, "Yes, boss, we are ready." So I was the leader in propagating that fact. And other interesting incident related to that. 15 days after my exam, my wedding was fixed. My the same profession. He asked me, "Should we wait for you to pass the exam?" So I told him that there are 9 candidates appearing this time from all the colleges in the university. And if one has to pass, it will be me. And interestingly, having answered everything excellent except one short case, I failed in my exam. It was a big jolt. But then, and lot of below average people passed. But remember, I finished the exam, I had read enough, and now I was supposed to prepare again for my exam, but there was nothing left to prepare. So that gave me an impetus. I got high on reading urology because there was nothing left in general surgery to revise. Well, I was revising in between. That time gave me an opportunity. Another 6 months, same set of examiners. They will continue to ask viva till end, and there was nothing in the textbook which was not answered. But I failed again. There's no shame in accepting. Now, having failed twice, now I thought I may never pass this exam, because whatever you may write in theory, they are not looking at it. Whatever I answer, the end-to-end questions which I answer, they are not giving any importance to that. And anywhere one mistake, they would say he doesn't deserve. So before I passed my masters, I appeared in my DNB, and I may pass my DNB before the master's exam. Friends, I appeared third time. And this time, same set of examiners. I took the courage. I went to meet one of the external examiners in another town. He could know me by my name, and he could tell me the questions he asked me first time. First time he took my viva on right hemicolectomy, and I could vomit out every single line of Mengot. The Turnbull technique was popular those days. In my second time, he had asked me the details of undescended testes, and I could answer till tubular fertility index, which was his last question. The external examiner offered me coffee at his home, and he said, "All what I ask you, Next morning, I asked every that question to my team, and some of my associate professors could not answer. I just asked him, should I appear or should I stop appearing? Because I'm already DNB. He said, no, you appeared this time. And when I appeared third time, nobody asked me, not a single question. Whatever I presented, they said, okay, okay, okay. Believe me, that 1 year between 3 exams was a tough period. This movie, Three Idiots was released much later. But I have believed, I had a philosophy of life that learn to gain knowledge, learn to be knowledgeable. Scores don't matter. I'm revealing on this platform today to motivate all others who think the whole world is against them. Doesn't happen. Don't perceive like that. Don't be depressed. The failures give you an opportunity to grow. Take it as in stride. Having said that, those days, if one of the examiners, the method of marking was A, B, C, D. If one examiner puts in D, that means this guy is a duffer, unfit to pass. Then nobody else will oppose. The DNB exam is much more methodological. If somebody gives you 0 and other guy gives you 10, you have to pass in totality on calculation basis, not on the whims and fancies of one examiner. Exam is your performance for those 5 minutes, for those 15 minutes long case. Over my teaching career, I have found at times some of the lousiest characters passed and some of the bright boys failed. Failure doesn't mean that you don't know the specialty. Failure doesn't mean it is the end of the life. You need to fight out the situation with patience, perseverance, and tolerance. There is always a next day. An exam is not the end of the life. If you think you have missed the bus this time, think over with a cool head, what are my deficiencies? How can I improve? Most of the people which I find, even when they know the specialty, they have not done the drill. I would suggest try to write the questions. DNB or MS surgery is total 400 to 500 questions. Get into the written practice. The board gives you 18 minutes per question. You should target that you should finish in 13 to 14 minutes. Draw a lot of line diagrams. Don't need to write a lot of essay work. Convey your systems to the examiner, and remember, DNB theory is checked very seriously. Masters of Surgery is not checked thoroughly. Then in DNB there is nobody against you. If there is nobody in favor of you, there is nobody against you. If you continue, most people pass second time or bus time. And those who do not pass second time, with some coaching push, they will pass next time. Do not be depressed. Failure or success could mean only 2 marks, 3 marks, only one case. At times it so happens that some of the examiners are very fussy about small issues. That you must have, as a resident, as a consultant, you must have at least a couple of friends. When you are stressed out, you need somebody on whose shoulder you can put your head and cry. Some moral support is needed for everybody. Everybody is not that thick-skinned. Though I encourage all of you to take life in a tough way, you should not be biased. You should not be depressed by small failures. Take them as an opportunity. I repeat, in surgery, learn the specialty, learn to be skilled. Scores will not make a difference. Yes, scores make a difference to enter in today. Score doesn't make a difference in life. So, if I took 3 attempts, am I anyway inferior to those who passed first attempt? No. The hundreds of people passed first time are far and far behind in profession. This is one area of the exam. There are many other kinds of turbulences in life. The stress of life is high. Remember, a lot of issues come up in matrimony. A common saying for me is, marriage is not a contract between 2 young souls to run a nursing home and to make money and incidentally have 1 or 2 kids. The other name of marriage is adjustment, compromise. When 2 monozygotic twins do not have the same characteristics, nature, attitude, how can a girl and a boy born in different environment, brought up in a different circle, can be identical? When any resident gets married, I give him a gift card and I write, the higher tolerance you will exhibit, the happier you would live in your life. There is turbulence in everybody's life. Let me share with you, this is a large survey, true data by me. The doctors who arrange their own marriage have more brickbat from both sides. When they try to please both ends, there is always disparity and there are always issues. The personal life, the family life has no linear correlation with your success in your profession. Some of the top-notch people I know in surgical profession had a very turbulent family life. Majority of people have a dual personality. They behave very differently at work and very differently at home. today's generation demands more time, which they call the things were easier at our age group 35-40 years ago. The spouses were more tolerant. They thought the guy is working hard on his profession, let him do that. He is generating money, he is happy in his life, he brings joy to home. But current generation is more time demanding. So try to strike some balance in between. And specifically when you are late, if you had said something wrong, apologize there and then. Let no argument, like we say in small ball obstruction, sun should never set or sun should never rise till it is dealt. So it is applicable. No matrimonial disargument or disharmony should see the sunrise. It should be settled before that. Don't carry on the grudges. Always be pleasant. And another important thing, write on the board, on the whiteboard of your office, and more so here on the white cells, do not react. Do not react to every small issue. All smaller issues, agree with a smile. That is my mantra for you. I have enjoyed the stress of failure once. I was doing great on my practice. Few youngsters came in the town. They started giving 25% cut to the referring doctor. It affected my work. So I thought, let me go to the more contact with the masses instead of going to the doctors. So I started a satellite clinic 15 kilometers away in a nearby Tahsil. I thought we will pick up business directly from that place. But within a month I realized the time lost is too much. Going, coming up, the business being affected at primary place. So that was my error in judgment. Though we spent a lot of money in bringing up, modifying that center, but I quickly took a U-turn. So whenever in life you think you have taken a decision which is not practical, it is better to retreat. Accept your failure, that this was my error in judgment. Fair enough. Go back to your original work. We concentrated more, so I convinced my mind that I am not going to get hernias and straightforward gallbladders. So we polished ourselves and no look back. We only concentrated on high risk work, and at that level there was no competition. Not even today. Enjoyed the stress of sickness. Some 25 years ago, I wrote this also, but I wrote an article on this in LGS. But today I'm sharing the stress, the management, and coming out. And behind every successful person, there are similar stories. I am an averagely successful person. I have not amassed a great amount of money, but I am the richest in public popularity and respectability in a criminal district where I worked 35 years without a security guard. The hospital did not have a security guard, did not have a public relation department because never felt the need of that. The stress some 25 years ago, one fun midnight, I woke up with abdominal pain, got some injections, routine ultrasound, barium meal those days, nothing worked. Got a CT done. CT showed a mass effect in the retroperitoneum. I was losing weight. One of the end figures of GI surgery in the country examined me and wrote with his ink pen retroperitoneal sarcoma. He wanted to do a laparotomy on me, and one kidney was not functioning, so the chief of urology wanted to do PCN on me. I think I was 35 years old with two young kids, nothing settled, no cash in hand, and it was again a very tough time. Who could doubt such a fatherly figure of GI surgery when he boldly wrote retroperitoneal sarcoma? So I thought, I am anyway beyond cure. I would rather die without a laparotomy in the hospital. Let me live as much as time I have. A similar rank GI physician thought the story may be tubercular. So he started some drugs on me. In the process, I had lost 16 kg weight. And nothing was working, quite depressed. All the responsibilities on the head. It struck my mind that I had treated a very senior internist family members. I thought, let me approach him. And looking at everything, he said, who started your ATT? I could not tell him that the gentleman is head of a premier institute. He said, you are on the wrong dose. He increased my dose of anti-tubercular, and maybe the time was there to get well. A week later, the things started getting better. And in a month or two's time, I was recovering, and eventually all the mass effect disappeared. So there are stressful days in life. Let me tell you, you have to be firm to strike a balance between the stress. I will tell you a small story. A bird in North Dakota, as the winter started getting in, he was a bit lazy to fly to south to save himself from the chilly weather. But he started late flying to the south. There was rainfall, there was snow, and the bird's wings became frozen and he fell down. And he thought, he's going to die. Somehow, a cow happened to pass over him, and she passed her dung, and this frozen bird was hidden in the cow dung. And with the warmth of the cow dung, the bird gained warmth and started moving his wings within the cow dung. A cat happened to pass nearby. When cat saw some movement in the dung, cat took that bird out from the dung and eat away the bird. So the message of the story is, all those who give you shit in your life are not bad. So all those who give you shit may be your friends to help you. And all those who try to take you out of the shit may kill you. So have at least 2 friends, or a friend and a mentor whom you can trust, on whose shoulder you can cry during difficulty, and who can console you and stand by you without asking you why. A friend is one when you are in trouble, he says, "Are you okay? Everything will be well. I am with you." Not one who questions or who tells you, तुम्हारे साथ ऐसा होना ही था, तुम पहले ही लापरवाह हो, मेरे को लग रहा था कि ऐसा ही होगा. So have a friend, have faith in God, be courageous. I've shared with you my story of failures, surviving with life, and enjoying every day. So friends, don't feel low in tough times. Everybody worth his salt has faced failures and has come out of it. And I wish you don't have any failures. And if you have one, have a friend. And if you are in any problem, at LGS, we are many of my age who want to help every youngster who is in problem. Thank you very much for being with me on a weekend. Wish you all the best. Enjoy your Sunday. Any questions, queries, I will be pleased to answer and available to you for help any and every time. Good night.